makeup artist. Let's recreate this eyeshadow look on blue eyes. I've already done my eyebrows. This is going to be a super easy neutral wearable eyeshadow look, really for any occasion. And I used a little bit of the Maybelline Fit Me in the inner corner. I'm just going to blend this out with a brush so I get more coverage. And the reason I went with brightness in the inner corner is because this is going to allow me to keep that bright inner corner that we're going to end up working for with eyeshadow later. So this just makes it easier, honestly. I'm now going to set this with the Makeup Revolution Translucent Setting Powder. I'm going to use this Morphe X Abby Roberts palette that I got from Marshall's just because it has every color under the sun. Immediately with Walker, which is a medium brown. I'm going to go right in on the crease just to start adding some warmth and dimension. Small brush, I'm going with a smaller brush and a darker shadow. This is the shade Chalky. It is a very dark and warm chocolate brown, and I'm going to put this right against my lash line. I'm going to go back in with the brush that I put the crease color on, and without cleaning it, just use this to blend this out and buff it so that we get a nice gradient and blend without having to do a whole lot of extra work. So I'm going with an angled brush now, and I'm going to take the shade Brownie Points. I'm going to go right up against the lash line in a very thin line. The brush we used to put the crease color on, and I'm going to go in with a shade called Raymond, I think like Raymond Noodles. It's just a cream colored shade. It's pretty much my skin tone, and I'm going to use this to just blend out and kind of lighten up that crease shade a little bit. And with Sushi, which is a pure white, I'm going to put this on my brush because this is a loose brush. We're not going to get as dense of a pack, which is good because I don't want like a fully stark white color payoff, but I do just want to brighten up that brow bone just a little bit. No joke, I accidentally knocked my brush into the translucent powder I have sitting right here. So when makeup mistakes like this happen, because it's powder specifically, I'm just going to use a clean brush to buff it away. That way I'm not blending it into the eyeshadow and getting rid of the color I've already added. I'm going to take the shade called Zola, which is right here. It's just a shade darker than our crease color, and this is going to kind of be our medium shade to kind of mesh and marry these together. It's also a little bit more cool, so then we get more of a neutral look than fully warm. Now it's time for the shimmer, and though this has really pretty shimmers in it, silvers, purples, peaches, and this one is almost neutral, but it pulls a little bit pinky, so I'm actually going to go to a different palette. This is the 350 palette, again another affordable option with lots of brown tones and neutrals, and we're going to go in with this shade right here. There are not shade names in this palette, but it's almost like a gold taupey kind of shimmer, and we're going pretty neutral here. That's pulling a little too yellow for me, so I'm going to layer a whiter, brighter shade over top of it just to kind of lighten it up. Just very easy, very minimal. I have a Natasha Denona palette here, and there's a shade in it called Flutter, and if you just lightly tap it, it gives this really nice glitter see-through effect. I'm gonna go do my other eye. We'll be right back. Okay, we love the lash. This is the Lily Lashes in Inviting Invisible Band half lash. We're gonna add a little bit of liner. Okay, I'm gonna go do my base because I'm testing out a new to me foundation, and I'll be right back to do the underneath of the eyes and complete this look. Now that I've finally got my base on, the under eye is going to be really easy. We're going to take the shade that we used in the crease, that very first shade, Walker, and we're going to go under the eye with it just to add that warmth and match that dimension in the crease. And you see how it just like already transformed it to look a little bit more put together, and like we spent a lot more time on it than we did. Right here, it's just an off-white essentially, but what this is going to do is provide a really nice gradient and make it super blended out and look just really seamless and flawless. And you can just get right up against that lash line, and I like to keep it on the outer 2/3 because I prefer like a more like cat eye situation, but if you have really round eyes, it can be very flattering to do all of the eye. It's not going to be fully complete without mascara underneath. In my personal opinion, you're missing out on prime real estate if you're not doing bottom mascara. I just took a little Q-tip and cleaned up underneath my eyes, and there you've got a really easy eyeshadow look.